I want to tell you a story about a decision 10 Canadians made to travel across the world to visit a small and very poor country 10,000 kilometers away in West Africa called Guinea, a country that is world-renowned for its incredible culture of music and dance that people, like myself, travel across the world to study. A country that, despite its abundant natural resources, remains ranked one of the poorest in the world according to the 2016 UN Human Development Report, 184th out of 188 countries. This report states that women, girls, youth, the unemployed, people living in rural areas, and those in conflict-affected areas are being left behind in myriad ways. Sub-Saharan Africa is losing around a third of human development outcomes, higher than any other developing region, to inequalities in health, education, and economic opportunities. I can remember when I was considering traveling to Guinea. Truthfully, I had some major reservations about going. I wondered, wouldn't it be better if I just donated the money it would cost to travel to Guinea to an aid organization that would help people improve their lives in some small, but hopefully meaningful way? And I have to say that, almost 10 years later, I finally know the answer to that question. But before I tell you the answer, first I'd like to tell you about Matoto. Prior to our trip to Guinea in 2008, we wanted to do something to give back to our hosts, whom we knew would be showing us an enormous amount of generosity during our stay. These teachers and hosts, by definition some of the poorest people in the world, shared their music, dance, food, culture, homes, and friendship with us. We asked our host, Alia Giglasila, what can we do to give back to the community? And he suggested we build a school in his birth community. Sure, we thought, naively, build a school, we can do that. So we fundraised, and we managed to raise about $6,000 initially, which we thought was pretty good. Which is also, incidentally, about how much it cost me personally to travel to Guinea to live and study dance and music for a month. And I can't remember how it happened, but all of a sudden we were starting a non-profit organization so we could continue to raise money to help build and operate this school. And the whole thing kind of snowballed from there. The Matoto Multicultural Arts Society is a grassroots Canadian non-profit society that built and funds a primary school called École Communautaire Buntarabisila in Kubayan, Guinea, north of the capital city of Conakry. So, to answer the question, I believe it wouldn't have been better to just send the money. If we didn't go to Guinea, I can pretty much guarantee that this school wouldn't exist. This school exists and continues to grow because it has become a valuable asset to several communities who had no access to a school for their children. And we wouldn't know that if we hadn't met some of the families and children. And if we hadn't met the families and children, we might not still be actively involved almost a decade later. At this point, we've raised tens of thousands, if not well over $100,000 for the school. There are 315 students that are able to attend school up to grade 6, and the demand is there for more grade levels and teachers if we can secure the funding. I'll never forget when we traveled to Kubayan to visit community members and see the school as it was in the initial stages of construction. The children immediately befriended us, even though we didn't speak the same language. They held our hands while we toured the village. They taught us games and songs, and we shared a lot of laughter while we were there. In Guinea, Wantanara is a common expression, which evokes a feeling of shared ownership of possessions and experiences, and essentially means we are united or come together. The response by the community elders to our presence was both staggering and truly humbling. They could not believe that out of all of the places in the world that we could go, we would choose to come to their small village. It signified to them the connectedness of all humans and reaffirmed that, in the spirit of Wantanara, we are all one. That trip changed our lives. I believe it has changed the lives of the 315 students who attend this school annually and those who have attended since it officially opened in 2012. Traveling to Guinea has provided me with the passion to continue to fundraise for the students who go to this school and their families who are primarily engaged in subsistence agriculture and cannot afford to send them. So why am I telling you all this? Because I'm hoping you can help us. We have a cohort of students ready to advance to the next grade level, but we don't have the resources to maintain our current financial obligations to operate the school and also add the extra teachers and grade levels that are necessary in the coming years. We are a completely volunteer-run organization and have no staff, so the majority of the money we raise goes directly to the school project. So far, we have been able to raise enough money each year to grow and sustain the school, but this year, with the children aging out of the school grades and the community looking to us for increased financial assistance now and in the coming years to hire more teachers for more grade levels, we are in critical need of more donors to help the school grow. We rely on donors like you to fund the school. A gift of $10 a month pays for one child to go to school for a year. I'll say that again. The gift of $10 a month pays for one child to go to school for a year. I'm asking you to think about the difference you can make in someone's life by becoming a monthly donor. I know there are a million people like me out there asking you to donate to organizations that help people just as deserving as these kids. But if our vision, a world in which art, culture, and education are vital for emerging human potential and the impetus for peace, resonates with you, I invite you to contribute to our GoFundMe campaign and visit us at www.matoto.org to become a monthly donor. Thank you so much for your support.